Hallelujah. I feel like this word is really late. Like the Lord told me to give this word a long time ago. To everybody that is new to my channels, both channels, I'm on my personal channel and my ministry channel at the same time. Okay, just trying to get the word out, right? So this is a kingdom spouse word. If you guys are not familiar with a kingdom spouse, feel free to Google it and it will give you the definitions. I have two words to drop. So I have Nobody's Supposed to Be Here is the first word by Deborah Cox. And I found out when I was printing this song out, or was it the other song? One of these songs, that the next song is Deborah Cox too as well. Okay, period. So it says We Can't Be Friends is the other song by Deborah Cox. I'm going to do this song first. And then I'm going to end the live and then I'm going to drop the other word. Yeah, so for the people that don't know, for the people in the back, okay. My personal relationship with the Lord includes me being able to hear him. When I'm able to hear him is through whether I'm reading the Bible, whether I'm watching a word, whether I'm listening to music, whatever that looks like for me and the Lord's relationship, I hear the Lord, to sum it up, right? So this is a lyrical message. This is the Lord speaking to me, giving me divine insight on circumstances. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna just get into it. So the beginning of Nobody's Supposed to Be Here says, how did you get here? Okay, so there are kingdom spouses that have a deep yearning, okay, a deep longing to be with us, okay, right? Or you, right? And they're just trying to figure out how you even made it in their heart. Some of them came into a covenant saying like, I'm never going to love again, I'll never get married and all this other stuff, right? But a man has his own ways, but the Lord directs his steps, right? So that's what the Lord is doing, a divine I don't know, keeping us in line, right? Not just the spouses, but also the standards, not just the prodigals, but also the standards, right? So your spouse is trying to figure out, how did you get into my heart? And it says, nobody's supposed to be here. These spouses didn't want to feel nothing for nobody, okay? And if you have a spouse that was like in a counterfeit relationship, and this one, the counterfeit relationship I'm speaking of is specifically an intimate relationship, not so much of the, you know, jobs and stuff like that, but that last counterfeit relationship, whether it was while you were standing or prior to you standing, really drained them, okay? That's why some of the spouses were kind of resistant with you and whatnot. So then for some, even after the counterfeit relationship, they're like, okay, I'm not doing this again. I'm not putting my heart on the line to possibly get hurt. They were just like immediately no, right? So it says, I've tried that love thing for the last time. So they are like trying to distance themselves from love, from being loved, from receiving love, from giving love. They're really trying to be closed off, but the Lord is not letting people just stand still. Like he's like, I have a good thing for you and you're going to receive it. So that's how that's going, right? And it says, my heart says, no, no, nobody's supposed to be here. The heart is like, I can't take any more hurt. I can't take any more rejection. I can't take it, okay? They cannot take it, right? But this love that the Lord has ordained for you two is not going to be anything that either of you guys have experienced. So the Lord is just like really advocating on behalf of the kingdom spouses, whether it's us or prodigals. But he's advocating on both parties, standards and prodigals, right? And it says, but you came along and changed my mind. My mind, my mind. So you have been on your spouse's mind like crazy. Like they cannot shake it. They have tried to push the thought of you in the back of their head. And it's just like, it's not working. The prodigals cannot shake it. The standards cannot shake it either, okay? You may have tried to not think about it. And it's just like, God is literally going to show several confirmations to you, to your spouse. All right. And it says, I spent all my life on a search to find the love who'll stay for eternity. They spent all their life trying to find love, whether that was through parents, whether that was through intimate relationships, but they didn't search with going to God first. They didn't say, "Hey Lord, what do you think about this? What do you think about this person?" It was more so of, "I think this person is suitable. I think this person is a good person to be around," whether it was friends or whatever. But even the friendships drain them, okay? Giving their love to fake friends, frenemies, um, going out their way for coworkers, trying to show coworkers love, just trying to show maybe neighbors love or whatever. So yeah, some of them were ready to settle for just a friendship, and it's just like, that's not what the Lord has for you. And it says the love who will stay for eternity. Yeah, so that's an intimate relationship. They wanted someone who can love them through thick and thin, through their flaws and all, and stuff like that. And y'all, I don't know if y'all be looking at like reels and stuff like that on like Facebook reels or YouTube reels or Instagram reels, but the dating scene is scary. I mean, people are jumping in the dating pool and drowning, y'all. Like, seriously, like, um, what people want is not realistic nowadays, and it doesn't take someone with discernment to see that the dating pool is just not, is not what's up, right? So yeah, they're looking for a godly love now. They're looking for someone sent specifically from God, and they're seeing, and the Lord is also telling them that you are that spouse sent, whether you're a prodigal or a stander, you are that spouse sent to love that person for the Lord. I was watching Ray for Christ, and I think she said, "I sent you to love him for me." Like, you guys, the Lord is holy, okay? The Lord is a good God, but the thing is, he's not going to sleep with us. So we have a person that we can be intimate with and stuff like that on that type of level. And it says, the heaven sent to fulfill my needs, okay? And that's kind of like what I just said. Like, there's certain needs that the Lord cannot fulfill through him, but he can use one of his vessels to fulfill those needs, okay? And it says, but when I turn around, it's like every time your spouse turns around, you're right there. Okay? Whether you're right there praying for them, you're right there supporting them, you're right there. A lot of the people that are standing are right there spiritually. You have their back in the spirit. Okay? You guys are standing back to back in the spirit. You guys are warring for each other. At this point, if this word is for you, your spouse has been praying for you in secret. Your spouse wants more revelation about you. Your spouse wants more revelation of the rooms that you guys are going to walk into and the type of things that you guys are going to do. They're inquiring about their call. And for a kingdom spouse relationship, you guys have a call together, not just individually. So with them seeking the Lord's face to see the type of call they have, you are included in some, okay, some of it. Because we all know we have different gifts. They might have different gifts, or some of the gifts are the same, but, you know, it just depends. Anyways, I don't want to get too far into that. And it says, again, love has knocked me down. A lot of people too, to go back to the first one, because the Lord gave me more revelation. It says, but when I turn around again, love has knocked me down. Your spouse didn't expect for you to actually stand as long as you have stood, right? So when going to the Lord and seeking more revelation on like what's been happening in the secret, the Lord let your spouse know that you've been praying for them, interceding, that you believe that they can do the things that the Lord has called them to do. So within this, for some, the Lord may have revealed, like, this person has been standing for a year. This person has been standing for 6 months. This person has been standing for 5 years. And they just didn't expect for you to have stood that long, which really is the strength, like God pulling us through, right, to stand, vice versa. So it says, again, love has knocked me down. Once again, although they didn't want to put out their heart, put their heart on the line, they don't want any more hurt. And, you know, we're only human, and sometimes we unintentionally hurt people, right? So they're looking at the realistic view on it, and they're like, there's a possibility that this person may hurt me, whether they try to or not, right? And the Lord, like I said, is advocating on the behalf of standers and prodigals. So it says, my heart, okay. Once again, love has knocked me down. Okay, so they also have fell for you, right? They have fell, and it's like deeper than what words can describe type of falling that they have for you. So they fell for you, okay? Not just your beauty, not just your looks, not because that you can cook or clean or because you're a hard worker, because you're beautiful spiritually, you're lovely in their sight as well as the Lord. You're lovely in the Lord's sight. But mentally, you're strong, okay? Your story is a powerful testimony to them, right? The little bit that they do know. But just watching you from afar, seeing your light, they are encouraged to be better. They're encouraged to grow closer to the Lord. And some people may, like, you may not have a platform, but like when you post on social media, if you have a social media, you're posting scripture, you're talking about the Lord, or when you're around people, you're promoting the kingdom of heaven, right? So they're looking at this and they're like, I want to be like this. I want to be confident enough. I want to be bold enough to be able to do something similar, if not the same thing. And it says, my heart got broken. Oh, it hurt so bad. Some people may not know to what extent their kingdom spouses have been hurt and may be looking at it like, it wouldn't be that bad loving me and so on and so forth. And the type of heartbreaks that some kingdom spouses have experienced was like, to be specific, this may not be for every kingdom spouse, but they may have had a ex counterfeit go talk to their best friend or homeboys and lay down with them and stuff like that, or fathers or mothers and stuff like that. Like, when people are in the world and they're under influence, it gets grimy, y'all. Okay, so something, and it doesn't have to be exactly that, but there's some things that like you may have a story that may be unbelievable to some. Okay, some of the hurts and the pains that you went through may be unbelievable to people. And it's the same with the heartbreaks, okay? And it says, yeah, it hurt so bad. So the pain that they've experienced was not just it might have been a physical pain, but it's a spiritual pain that they experienced with these heartbreaks. And it says, I'm sad to say love wins again. Some of these kingdom spouses have dealt with pride, right? And even out of pride, out of the heart posture of a prideful heart, they may have said, like, I'm not going to date, I'm not going to entertain people and stuff like that. And it's really hard to say when you're wrong, when you're operating out of pride, but they have to say that love has won. Like, you have won them with your love, okay? You have won them with how caring you are, the way that you articulate things, the way that you're used by God has won them over. And it says, so I place my heart under lock and key. See, this goes back to the scripture that the Lord gave me about, like, a man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps regardless. Like, it's not going to go down the way that they think it's going to go down. The Lord opens doors that no man can shut, and the Lord closes doors that no man can open. So the Lord is opening this lock and this key that they have placed on their heart, right? And first, God is going to heal them through his love before he sends us to love them. Vice versa, before he sends them to love us, he's going to take a healing in your heart, whether you already been healed or not. So if you haven't already been healed, the Lord is going to heal you first before he sends your kingdom spouse to love on you, okay? And yeah, that's a part of deliverance, you guys. You have to go into the forgiveness and forgive all those who have trespassed against you, including your kingdom spouse, and so on and so forth. And it says, okay, I place my heart on the lock and key to take some time and take care of me. So another thing that some of these kingdom spouses are doing, which majority of them, for the ones that are coming back very soon, are doing this actively right now. If your kingdom spouse is, like, still in the wilderness phase or whatever, this is to come, right? So this is a rhema word and also a word in the future, right? But they are holding down the fork. They're not entertaining counterfeits and stuff like that. They're not open to even communicating with the opposite sex to get attention or anything like that. They want to take time to take care of them. They want to love on them in a healthy way. Right now, they're really trying to become mentally, heal mentally, and just focus and be healthy. They want health, right? And also physically, they're working on their fitness journey. They're working on eating healthy, making sure they're getting spiritual food. So a lot of people have like a an insecurity of my spouse is, because some people, their kingdom spouses have already, separated from the counterfeit and may have fear of another counterfeit coming. But right now, the pain that they experienced from previous counterfeits or the last counterfeit, they're not open to love. Okay. So yeah, they're trying to focus on their health, and also they're trying to build. They want to build. Women, the men do not want to come back with nothing. Some will, okay, because the love is going to be so strong. But some of them just are like, I love that person too much. They love you too much to even come back to the table with nothing. Okay, whether that's a man or a woman, they don't want to come back with nothing. All right, they don't want to be a burden when they come back. So it says, I turn around and you're standing there. So a lot of them have been praying a prayer of, Lord, save this person for me. Don't let this person, wander off. Don't let somebody else entertain them, so on and so forth. Just put this person on reserve. And it's like, baby, you've been on reserve. But anyways, it says, but I turn around and you're still, but I turn around and you're standing there. So once again, they're going to be wowed. They're going to be wowed because you stood, okay? You stood through counterfeits. You stood through testing, trials, tribulations. You stood through some people financial stuff. Some people live with their kingdom spouses and stuff like that, and you stood even when they didn't have anything. And even for the ones who are separated still, when you guys were together, you were still standing, although you saw that they were in lack. You weren't looking at material possessions or things, finances, to make up your decision whether you wanted to be with them or not. But yeah, and it's just going to put them in awe that you continue to stand there, even through separation or even through the trials and tribulations. Because I know some people were married to their spouses and you're in a separation right now or whatever. So just however the shoe fits. And it says, how did you get here? So there are some kingdom spouses, because the enemy comes to attack the mind. All right. This is Lord giving you divine insight. So you know what to pray against. So don't be discouraged to me saying this. But for some people, the enemy has sown a seed of, oh, this person is doing witchcraft on me, and so on and so forth. So they're wondering, was there possibly witchcraft done on them that's making them feel these types of ways? And the Lord is confirming to them that you did not do any type of witchcraft, that you are sent from him, and that's why the connection is so different. But I know that you guys know this. When you get a ton of confirmations from the Lord, the enemy still tries to throw you 2 or 3 to try to sway you, right? So the confirmation that the Lord gives you, the enemy will give you a complete opposite one just to try to confuse you. And what happens often is we start going on fast. We start getting deeper into the word. We start worshiping and stuff just to make sure we're hearing him right. So right now there may be a fast that your spouse is going on or about to go on for further revelation, to make sure that they're tuning and hearing the Lord clearly. Where's my juice? Hold on, y'all. Let me get a sip of my drink. Kool-Aid. What you know about that? All right, but so it says nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. So for the spouses that were really closed off or even dealing in pride, they literally did not want the love from anybody because of life experiences. They're like, I don't want anybody's love at this point, because they're feeling like people love was not genuine. People were hanging on to them for what they can do for them or what they bring to the table and so on and so forth. So they just didn't want love, right? And it says, and they also went to the Lord and was like, Lord, I ain't trying to do this, right? And a lot of people have that same experience for the standards of when the Lord revealed to them who their kingdom spouse is. They're like, there ain't nobody else. You know what I mean? There is not anybody else that could possibly do this stance. And that's because of the past. So the Lord is really saying, forgive. Okay. And I forgot what verse it was, but anyways, it talks about love is patient, love is kind. Love does not hold any wrongdoings, or it says like love does not record any wrongdoings. The whole point of me saying that is, you guys, the records of wrongdoings, the trespasses of your spouse, let it go. Okay, it's a new slate. A lot of people are like not wanting to let things go because like, oh, well, I need to catch the lesson. That's how I felt. I'm like, if I let it go, that means I didn't catch the lesson. But that's not true, you guys. Let it go. Move forward. We can't expect the Lord to forgive us if we can't forgive our spouses. And yeah, that's another thing too, you guys. The Lord is not going to send a spouse back to get their feelings hurt because you keep throwing up what they did in the past in their face. Remember this and remember that. You know, there's a certain way to do things, and that's not it. Okay, so it says, take some time to take care of me, and I turn around and you're standing here. So another thing the Lord is reminding me, these spouses are trying to figure out how to be a man, right? Or how to be a woman. And the Lord revealing to them that they are your husband or your wife is stressful. It's like I felt the same way, to be honest with you guys, because I was in foster care. I didn't really know how to be a woman, let alone a wife. You know, it's hard for me to cross my legs in a dress. I rather wear pants all the time. So it's things like that that is really stressing your spouse out. Like, I don't even know how to be the head of a household. And you're telling me not only do I need to figure out how to be a man or woman, I also have to learn how to be a husband, a wife, a mother, or a father. And that can be overwhelming. So your spouse not really trying to focus on the promise right now is not so much of a negative, because they want to be that good, strong man. They don't want to just be a mediocre man or woman to you. They want to be a strong spouse that's able to war. Like, people, you guys don't know how powerful you are. It's like it's easier to see in everybody else's life, and then when it comes to our lives, it's fogged, you guys. You set the bar very high for your spouse, okay? And they're trying to not only catch up, but get themselves together. So give them grace for that. A lot of people are like, Lord, this is taking so long. That's because it's a lot to learn. And then, okay, I turn around and you're standing here. How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. So a lot of them are really talking to God about, like, I just told you I didn't want to be with anybody, and you're doing this, and I'm not ready. And God doesn't give us prophecy when it's convenient for us. God gives it when it's time, when it's his timing. Excuse me, I was literally learning about this whole kingdom spouse journey. I'm at a shelter. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? I don't have a pot to pee in and a window to throw it out of. Like, I'm taking the bus right now. Come on, Lord, let up. He's talking about wake up and pray. I'm praying for a vehicle, not a man right now, but thank you very much. And I had to pull out of that pride. Well, the Lord pulled me out of that pride and that worry of how is things going to happen with the baby and stuff like that, you know. So these are things that your spouse is worried about, like providing for themselves, let alone as another spouse. So yeah, it said, I tried that love thing for the last time. Once again, they're just distancing themselves. It says, my heart says no, nobody's supposed to be here. And that's another thing too. Your spouse feels like if they don't follow their heart, they're going to regret it. Okay, so it's saying, like, my heart says no. That could mean a multitude of things. Their heart is saying do not give up. Their heart is saying don't back away or whatever. But then their heart is also telling them no, not right now. So it's a battle between the flesh and the spirit. Okay, so these are just prayer points. If you guys are writing or whatever, I don't know if people take notes. Sometimes I take notes. I haven't did it recently, but it's good prayer points, right? And it says, nobody's supposed to be here, but you came along and changed my mind. Another thing is, at first they felt like you were changing their mind, but now they know that it's the Lord that has changed their mind. And some of them are kind of frustrated at the timing, the whole timing thing. But even it's hard for some to receive the love of Christ. The way that the Lord loves them, they're like, I don't deserve this love. I didn't work for this love, and so on and so forth. But God is not a God to where that, like, we have to work for his love. We don't have to work for God's love. He just gives it, right? He died on the cross for us before we were even born, you know? So it's stuff like that. They just feel undeserving of God's love, okay, and our love. And like I said, you guys set the bar very high, all right? Some trespasses that your kingdom spouse has done against you, you would have never did to them in a million years. It wouldn't even have been a thought, right? And seeing your characteristics and how you didn't change no matter what they put you through or what other people put you through really is convicting. It's really convicting. And when they felt that conviction, you know, with them trying to be better, trying to be healthy, They pondered and pondered and pondered, and it turned into condemnation. So the Lord is trying to wash them up with that condemnation, and let them know that, hey, you're good. I forgive you. But they have to go through a forgiving of themselves. Okay. And while they're doing all this, you guys, for the ones who still don't forgive their spouses, y'all get to forgive it and don't force yourself. Make sure you let the emotions sit there so you can process it. My therapist told me that. She said, don't keep pushing the emotions back. Okay? She said, feel it. And a lot of people's like, I don't want to feel negative emotions and stuff like that. It just shows that you're human. Okay? We have emotions. So let it sit there. Ponder on why you think or feel that way, and then get rid of it. All right? Because when you keep pushing it back, it just takes longer and longer to get rid of. All right? For someone who SA'd me a while ago, I had to be angry, and I felt hate, and I felt a lot of things. And when I let that sit there, I was able to be delivered from it. Okay? So, which I'm not condoning anybody to hate anyone, but that's the true emotion that I felt when that happened to me. And now I don't feel that at all. But yeah, it says, this time I swear I'm through, but only if you knew. Okay? So, like I said, some of them had came into agreement with a covenant saying that they weren't ever going to do it again. And a covenant is just basically anything you're coming into agreement with. Okay? So if you came into anything, a covenant by an agreement or whatever that you need to come out of, all you have to do is confess with your mouth, renounce it, denounce it, or whatever. And I'm not sure if it's renounce or denounce. I will have to look that up, but Google it just to make sure. But just confess that I'm no longer in covenant. Well, blah, 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 blah. I'm walking with the Lord, and I'm doing only what the Lord wants and has for me and stuff like that, which I could probably, write something down and then, do it later if I remember, because I'd be forgetting, y'all. Mom brain. But yeah, I'm through, but only if you knew. And it says how many times I've said those words. So your kingdom spouse may have told you several times. Hold on, I'm gonna go back and read that comment. That looks like a good comment. Not the Lord. Your spouse may have said many times that they weren't feeling love, they're not interested in love, and it wasn't that they were not feeling love or not interested in love. They were not interested in a fake love. They were not interested in being used. That was and some of them have a problem with articulating their words. So when reconciliation comes, keep that in mind, that they may not be able to say it how they would like to say it. So don't be getting offended and stuff. Just after they're done with their speech or whatever, or the conversation, take it back to the Lord and ask him for further revelation, right? Ask him to allow you to see what was on your spouse's heart. Yeah. And then, so the other verse, but only if you knew. Sorry. So it says, this time I swear I'm through, but only if you knew. If you knew some of the things that they went through down to the T, you would have a better understanding. Now, when the truth comes to the light, you will understand more. But right now is not the time for that revelation to be out just yet. But yeah, it says, then fall again. When will I learn? So your spouse has a history of self-sabotaging, okay? Whether this is your husband or your wife, they have a history of self-sabotaging. When they see that something is good, they may feel unworthy, like I was saying, or they might just self-sabotage, okay? Sometimes people do it out of fear, not just pride or whatever, or envy, but sometimes fear can cause you to self-sabotage. And another thing too is they feel like they can never be holy. Now we are only made or righteous, not so much holy, but like righteous. They feel like they're not deserving of being righteous, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, the Lord makes us righteous, okay? We don't make ourselves righteous. Without the blood of Jesus, we've never been righteous, okay? So your spouse feels like, because it says then fall again, but the righteous man falls 7 times and gets back up. No matter how many times in life that you may fall or fail at doing certain things, you might stop a sin cycle and start again and stop and stuff like that. They feel like it's very hard. And even the Bible says that the walk is hard. So it's not sugar-coated. right? But they feel like it's really hard. But with you, it's possible, okay? With God, it's possible. With you being a helpmate for God, it's possible, right? And with God on their sides. And it says, when would I ever learn? So they're really, they're beating themselves up. When you start taking accountability, you in the beginning of you taking accountability, you can really eat yourself up because you know that you can do better, and you're able to see your, not your fails, but the negative aspects of yourself. So this is what they're doing in their reflecting time. When you take accountability, it's like you have your whole day and then you reflect at the end of the day, or some people during the day will reflect. But these reflections that they're having is like a look in the mirror, and it's not always pretty, but it's the pondering. So you guys pray against overthinking, right? Hey, love. Pray against your spouse overthinking, and, quote scripture, let the mind of my spouse be still, like peace be still to the mind of my spouse, in Jesus' name. Where was I at? But yeah. And it says, knowing these tears I've cried, this lovely black butterfly. So I believe butterflies symbolize birth or new beginnings or something like that. I think it's like new beginnings. But yeah, there's a lot of tears that this person is crying, and that's because they're being healed. All right, the Lord is healing them. And these tears that they're crying, the Lord is going to take those tears and water the seeds in their harvest. So they're not crying these tears for no reason. A lot of them feel like they're being dramatic and stuff like that, and they're not being dramatic. The Lord is healing them. And you guys know that there's healing properties in our tears, right? God is so just organized. He's very specific. Everything that is happening is for a purpose, down to the tears. I mean, my God, y'all. But yeah, he's healing them. And a lot of them didn't want to cry because they felt like it was showing weakness, but it's actually showing strength. It's showing that they're getting healed, that they can feel, right? Because when you get numb to things, ooh, it's not pretty at all. It's not. So now they're able to feel. And it says, must take a chance to spread my wings. So they're really trying to just, hone into the walk by faith and not by sight. They're really trying to push themselves for that. That's why some of them may have like reached out and did like small talk here and there. And I remember I uploaded a video about like your spouse might come back with breadcrumbs, like little by little. And I was like, take those pieces because it's going to be a meal, okay? You're going to be able to get full off of it eventually. But they're kind of just like testing the waters before they jump in the dating pool to see if they're going to drown or not. But the thing is, they're really just testing to see if you're ready to receive them or not. And depending on your response, I mean, well, even it's not so much depending on your response, because they have to have that faith. They have to have that God confidence to come back and to hold that conversation and stuff like that. And then it's also, it said this lovely black butterfly. So emphasis on the black. A lot of people think like, when you see something black, it's like burnt or it's dead or whatever. So the Lord is going to make beauty from ashes. This whole situation looks like a hot mess, and the Lord is going to turn it around and make it beautiful for his glory. But yeah, it must take a chance. Okay, it says love can make you do some crazy things. Your spouses didn't want the label of being crazy, right? Some of these spouses have even called you crazy, right? Okay. But they didn't want to come back after, maybe calling you crazy and confess in love, because like, okay, it's going to look random. I didn't talk to this person in this amount of months, this amount of years, this amount of weeks, this amount of days. And then I'm just going to come back and pour out my love for them. It's just like, to them, it sounds crazy, but to you, this sounds like faith. Right? It sounds like faith for people who can hear in the spirit and see in the spirit and really discern in the spirit. It's giving, okay, this is faith. I see your faith now. But it says, so I placed my heart under lock and key. So they didn't want to look crazy. They didn't want to feel rejection. So because they didn't want to feel those things, they just chose to not, say the whole reconciliation thing. They're like, okay, well, if I don't confess my love, I won't get rejected. Right? So that's what they did. So it says they're placing their heart under lock and key. But in the right time, the Lord is showing me a pot right now in the spirit. and this pot is boiling. Have you guys ever left the pot on the stove for too long and that water started boiling over? So whether they like it or not, that pot, thank you, Lord, the burning with passion for you is going to come to a point to where that water is going to boil over. Okay, so ooh, I love when I get goosebumps. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I love that for me. Let me stop. But yeah, it says, so I place my heart under lock and key to take some time and take care of me. So not only are they in the providing, mentally ready to provide, also they want to emotionally be able to provide. And they want, some of the men are so stuck on having that ring when they come back. They do not want to, and it just depends on, that man, but they don't want to come empty handed with a proposal without a ring. It's just a lot to go with that. But yeah, so meanwhile, while they're not ready to confess just yet, they're just trying to get further revelation. Some of them are like, I need to go on a fast before I go to this woman. Okay. Some of them may think that it will help you see them in the spirit and whatnot. And some just want to get that last revelation. Okay, they want that last revelation. They're like, Lord, this is the last time I'm going to ask you if this is my wife. I promise. And then I will go back to them, right? So, and bless those seeds, Lord. Bless them all a billionfold for the great. Let me stop. Grandkids. Or just, cousins anyways. Anybody, the whole family, sum it up. But yeah, y'all. So it says, but I turn around and you're standing here. So the Lord is reminding your spouse, while you trying to get all this stuff together, this person's still standing for you. They're standing here. This is a now thing that they're doing. They're actively standing. So every day that you wait, they still got to cover you in the morning or during the day or at night. They got to cover you. So the Lord is just bringing to the remembrance. That's why a lot of the spouses are like having this moment of, I'm thinking about this person. I'm thinking about this person. It's because the Lord is like, yeah, so this person's still standing. So while you're over there trying to figure that out, this person is like, Lord, when's my spouse coming back? Lord, what's the report card? Lord, what's the revelation? What's going on? I need a word to keep my hope going. They're on that. So the Lord is like, hey, you over there, trying to handle both of you guys. So, yeah. And it says, how did you standing here? So it's like, how did you? They have so many questions right now for the Lord. And bless that seed too, Lord, a billionfold for Miss MEP. But yeah, literally, they're wondering so many things. How did you get this person to stand for me for this long? What did you tell her or him about me that even got them to say yes in the first place? Because you may have voice to your kingdom spouse. Some have, not everybody. This part's not for everybody, but you may have said, I don't like you or whatever, which is not so much that you didn't like them. You didn't like their traits of how they treat people, how they talk about people, maybe even mannerisms. Okay. So it's stuff like that. So they're wondering like, Lord, how did you get this person to war for me? And it says standing here, the Lord just let them know, look, this person's standing. Don't worry about the rest. You said you want to get this together to be a provider and all that. And who else? I literally was asking the Lord about revelation pertaining to something else today. And the Lord is like, don't ask, just wait. And I'm just like, goodness gracious, And that's the thing about God. He's not a yes God, okay? He's realistic and he wants your faith to be strong. So he's not going to give you an answer every single time. I mean, I would say 8 out of 10 times I get an answer. But the other 2 are just, the Lord will be silent. Sometimes you'll feel that in the spirit, and it's like, it's not that God's not, it's not that he's ignoring you. He's just simply like, come on now, just wait. But yeah, we are his children, and he treats us as a father, okay, as a father should. So it says, how did you get here? Nobody. Nobody's supposed to be here to be. No. It's lots of no's and stuff like that. But they already went through the denial phase that, this wasn't a possibility. The Lord has confirmed several times that he can and is doing this thing. This is a new thing that they never experienced before. That's another reason why these spouses are scared. They didn't even know God was doing stuff like a kingdom marriage. They were like, what is a kingdom marriage? And they're on Google and stuff. They're in the Bible. They're getting fresh revelations consistently. Okay, all day, every day now, just how we be getting it. So, yeah, the denial phase is over. They know this is God hands on it, right? It says, how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Oh, yeah. I tried that love thing for the last time. My heart says, no, no, nobody's supposed to be here. But you came along and changed my mind. Excuse me. So their hearts were telling them that like it didn't want to be hurt again or whatever, right? They're just being very aware of their feelings and their emotions in this hour. And the Lord is saying that like the way you feel, because we have our emotions are valid, but our actions are not. Okay, and we still have to control our emotions, but the Lord is saying He's in control. Okay, He's the one that made their heart, and He says what goes regardless. How did you get here? I'm not supposed to love. I'm not supposed to love. Some of these spouses, not all of them, but they really felt like they were never going to get married. So they have to now realize that they're getting married. And that might be a big thing. I don't want to say too much, but yeah. Their minds can't even fathom that, this is really happening. It's very exciting and scary. The new is always scary, y'all. All right? When we realize that we can't control something, and that's what they're realizing, that they can't control this, that's when it gets scary. And a lot of them may have had control issues, okay? They may have been, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't wear this, you can't do that, you can't talk like that, you can't, and the Lord is removing that control from them. So that's another reason why they might, their actions might be a little bit off. Or sometimes people get frustrated too. But it says, how did you get here? I'm not supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to care no more. I'm not supposed to care no more. That's hilarious. I'm sorry, y'all. But they're like, this much time has flew by. Fill in the gap with your time, right? This much time has flew by, and I'm still not over this person. Okay? So they're thinking, this got to be some weird, for some who even believe in it, this might be some weird hoodoo voodoo stuff. And then when the Lord was like, no, it's not that at all, child. This is me. Okay? I'm bigger than voodoo or hoodoo. Okay? I'm greater than all those things. I'm greater than your job. I'm greater than those friends. I'm greater than that. I'm God. Don't play with me. Put some respect on it. God is standing on business right now. So a lot of the spouses are seeing another side of God. I remember when I first started walking with the Lord, I was getting the sugar pieces all the time. God was filling me up with some good stuff, but it kept me going to church. It kept me seeking Him stuff. Then as I got older, the Lord started being real about it. Like, okay, you're going to go there, but I need you to do this first. And it was like, oh man, see, before I was like, God got it, God got it, God got it, God gonna protect me. Now He wants me to speak, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. You know what I mean? So they're getting the adult walk with God now, not the baby walk with God. But yeah. And but wait, it says my heart, no, but no, you tried that love thing for it, but you came along and changed my mind. How did I get here? I'm not supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to care. I tried that love thing for the last time. My heart says no, nobody's supposed to be here. No. Okay. God is not letting them give up. God is not letting them give up, because sometimes they're like, this is too hard. All these steps is too hard. And God didn't even show them all the steps. Fun fact. You didn't even see all the steps. Out of 10, I gave you 2. You think that's hard. But then once He gets you through the other 2, He shows you 3 and 4. Then after 3 and 4, He shows you 5 and 6. So He keeps telling them, okay, just walk with me. Don't worry about that. But yeah, don't forget to like, y'all. If you guys haven't already liked, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Drop in the comments. God is standing on business, okay? Because He is, y'all. And share if you feel like this will help somebody. Go ahead and share, because we are only doing what? Growing in the Lord. Why did Amy say rapid growth? All right. And yeah, boom shakalaka. How do I end this one? Okay, I end that one. Ooh. And then I'm about to get off and get back on. I just want to go skim the comments, because y'all know once the live, they feel embarrassed. Exactly. This is so much revelation, even for me. I've been praying for healing with the hurt caused in this journey, and I realize now the crying I've been doing has been a part of that. Amen. God has never let me cry tears without watering that seed. Okay, somebody said, Out of all my life, I think it was Paul or somebody that said, out of all my life, I never seen the righteous forsaken. God does not forsake the righteous, okay? And that's really on period. He's not going to do it. All right? Blessings in the room. Thank you for whoever was taking that off. I think that was Fire Child. Because that dude was acting up. All right, y'all about to end this live. Thank you, love. And I'm about to hop back on and do the We Can't Be Friends. Y'all, when I say this song had me like, this song had me like, okay, I'm so excited. All right.